This is our first ever virtual fair. And I'm Mimi. I'm from Alternative Gifts of Greater Washington. Thank you so much for being here today. I wanted to start this hour just by speaking a little bit about our community and who supports us, who has been supporting us in the past, and who is supporting us again this year. So, as you may know, if you've been to an alternative gift fair before, we have a huge partner, community partner in the Tacoma Park Presbyterian Church. The church itself donates time for us to come in to decorate the church every year, and donates rent for us to be there all day on Saturday. They've been our home forever, and we are grateful for them. Specifically, Jill Feasley and Kurt every year are helping us by putting up the big alternative gift fair banner. Gary has always helped us to get all the ladders and the things that we need. He helps manage the church, and he's been a big supporter. The Tacoma Park Girl Scout group, who comes out every year and bakes cookies to donate to Meals on Wheels and run our cookie decorating table, has been a wonderful community support. In the past few years, we've been coordinating with Crossroads Community Food Network to run our bake sale table. We also get support from the Tacoma Park Child Development Center to run our Kids Corner, and local musicians to run our live music corner. We have, of course, a widespread variety of local stores that help us with our raffle. And I just wanted to say, this year, since we cannot rely on them, if you are seeing this currently live, or if you're watching this on recording, please do consider a donation to AGGW so we can continue to put on these wonderful gift fairs. We hope to be holding an in-person gift fair next year in 2021 at the Tacoma Park Presbyterian Church. It's always the first Saturday of December, always 12 to 4. So we look forward to seeing you all in person then. I also wanted to just take a moment and say that so far, as of last hour, we had made over $8,000. Over 50, I believe 54 purchases have already been made online. So if you would like to support these amazing groups that you've already heard from and the ones that we're going to be hosting this hour, please just remember there's so many ways that you can support us. You can post about it on social media. You can email friends and family. You can request that your gifts that you receive this year are purchased from this website. You can do volunteering with the organizations to support them. If a monetary donation doesn't work for you, a lot of these groups would love to have your support, your hours of donation. There are so many ways that we can all reach out and lift up one another. So, as I mentioned, I am with the Alternative Gifts of Greater Washington. We have a wonderful board that runs this event. We look forward every year to the about 4 or 5 months that we spend. So I just wanted to say thank you to all of our board members. Sachivan Clay Khalsa, Jeff Maxon, Steve Smith, Steve Whitney, Jim Baird, and Jim Groves, and our newest member, Laura Mauro. I always want to say Laura Mowry, Laura Cheesebro. Hopefully I said that right. So this hour we're going to be hosting a number of groups, and I'm going to put this on so that you can see. So the groups that we have this hour, cover that up, are Stargazing Farm, Animal Sanctuary, Music for Life, Crossroad Community Food Network, Friends of Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens, and I always have a hard time with this name, Co-Partners Campesinas. So those are our groups this hour. And I will just kick off by inviting, we have Farmer Ann. And I don't know if you like Farmer Ann or Ann, to speak to us a little bit about the gifts that you're going to be offering this year, as well as telling us a little bit about your animal sanctuary.
Zoom. Here we go. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I can't hear her.
Yes, yes, we can hear.
Okay, so thank you very much for having us today. I actually have two little presentations. I'm just going to hold up another laptop to the screen so that you can see them. But very briefly, Stargazing Farm is an animal sanctuary for primarily farm animals, but we do also have cats and dogs and rabbits. We're a fairly small property, and as such, we have a fairly small program, but there are real advantages to that because it means that every volunteer that comes gets to have really one-on-one experiences with the animals. We have volunteers that start at age 11. Some of them stay with us till they go to college. Some of them stay with us beyond college. We also have folks, that are mid-career, professional people, and people that have already retired and are looking for productive ways to spend their time, and people that they're animal lovers. We rely almost exclusively on donations. Although we take a lot of animals from animal control, either seizures or animals that were picked up as strays, we don't get any county funding, we don't get any state funding, so we have to fundraise ourselves to help our program. Our goal is to give the best possible life to the animals that come in our care, to use that as an example for others, so that anybody who might be thinking of doing something similar or just wants to learn about really good animal husbandry can come to us. We're very proud to announce that we just recently received verification from the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries. So that's a real feather in our cap. It's quite a long, complicated process. I'd like to show you just a brief presentation. I'm hoping I can get this to work by putting it up here. I can't see it. You're good. So I just think that pictures are worth 1,000 words, and the pictures can say a whole lot more about our farm than I can. I hope you get the feeling from the pictures that it's really a fun place. Even though we take in animals that sometimes have been really cruelly abused, starved, burned, you name it. We've got some animals with disabilities. We've got a little sheep that's got crooked legs and a couple blind animals. And but, you know, everybody can be happy if they're taken care of properly. So I want to get to our gifts. I have also, I was talking with our kids this morning, the volunteers. I said, I don't know how to present these gifts because I don't know how to make hay interesting. So they said, well, let's make you some videos. So they made me a couple of videos. And I'm going to show you first our first gift. Our first gift is greens for our bunnies. And that's a $5 gift. We feed our rabbits, our guinea pigs every day fresh things so that they have proper nutrients. And I'm hoping I can get this to work right. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's difficult. It's difficult not doing screen sharing.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to just describe what they are, that'll be.
There we go. So these are our, I don't know what's coming up. So this is our rabbit receiving her greens. And we usually give them spring greens. We also give them, fresh carrots, fresh kale, parsley, cilantro, all really good things. We unfortunately don't have any access to get wholesale or discarded greens or anything, so we buy everything retail. So it gets to be very expensive. So it's really, really helpful to get that donation. Our next gift is for straw. And our straw enables our animals to keep warm in the wintertime. Our pigs literally build a whole nest that's like a foot tall and they burrow into it. But the other animals just like a soft place to be. Straw enables them to retain their body heat. And so we do have heat lamps. We do put coats on the old guys, but straw is absolutely the best thing for warmth. And that's our $20 gift. And our final gift is for hay, which is about an 800-pound bale of hay. We typically put out 2 hay bales at a time, one in the cow pasture and one for the horses, alpacas, goats, and sheep. And we're lucky if one of those lasts a week. So we go through an awful lot of hay. Again, everybody eats hay. Horses, donkeys, cows, sheep, goats, alpacas, llamas, and even the pigs. So everybody eats hay, and that's just sort of the staple of farm life. I think that's all I have to say. I'd be happy to take questions.
Okay, we'll see if I don't see any currently. Let me just check the chat. Yeah. No, I think you did a great job explaining it all. There's no question.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks so much, Anne. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
All right. And so next we're going to do
Turn me on.
Thank you. So Skip from Music for Life, welcome, and just tell us a little bit about your gifts and your organization.
Hi, it's glad to be with you this afternoon. You hear me okay? Okay. Music for Life began in 2006 as a tribute to Aaron Brown. He was an 18-year-old neighbor of ours, an Eagle Scout. He was studying music at Northern Virginia Community College when he was tragically shot to death. And that's how we got our beginning some 14 years ago. We provide music education programs to over 800 at-promise youth annually in the metropolitan Washington area. At-promise youth are those without the resources and support necessary to reach their potential. They mostly reside these days in the families that have been most impacted by the pandemic, unfortunately. We use music education programming because research has proven its ability to, or value in the academic, social, and emotional development of youth. We have 3 different programs we run. We have an after-school guitar program, we have a band and orchestra program, and we have a STEAM guitar program. Participation in music education is not about creating the next pop star. It's about providing youth the skills and experience they need to become self-sufficient adults. Providing basic needs is necessary, but it's not sufficient to achieve the desired goal of keeping these youth on a path to becoming self-sufficient adults. They also need opportunity and inclusion in the larger community around them. Music education provides that and helps them build skills applicable to any career field. Our $15 gift is a music book and electronic tuner for a student. The pandemic necessitated that we move our lessons online. These are samples of the kind of music books we use. Nice little clip-on electronic tuners they get for their instruments. As I said, we moved our lessons online back in March, which makes it even more important that we have the resources to provide to these students at their home so they can learn, because they're no longer coming in and meeting in person with their instructors. So the instructors aren't there to help them tune instruments. They're not there to help share anything with the students any longer. It all has to be done remotely. We also help the family with any technology requirements that they may have. A lot of the students we deal with may not have fast enough internet, may not have the right applications on their computer, may not have a computer. So we also work with the families to make sure that they have those resources so that they can fully participate in online learning. Our $25 gift is a private music lesson for our band and orchestra students. Budget considerations limit school programs. More of the cost these days is being imposed on the family if you're in band or orchestra. Anyone out there who has a child in band or orchestra knows exactly what I mean by that when they see how much they have to pay to keep their child going in that program. Teachers, because there are limited teaching resources in the schools these days, they also encourage their students to take private lessons on their instrument if they want to become proficient, because they do not have enough time to give individual instruction to all of their students. The result of all of this is that low-income students are being financially excluded from band and orchestra programs in some cases, or because they can't get the private lessons, they can't compete with the students who are. We've had a lot of success with this program. We've had a number of students now who qualify for district honors within their school districts, something they could not do before because they didn't have the instruction necessary to get that proficient. We have a number of students in orchestra who've moved up to first and second chair and gotten into ensembles and stuff because they are now good enough and can play well enough, and that's been a thing. And last year, we had 2 of our students get full music scholarships to college, one to James Madison University, one to Shenandoah University. So the program makes a huge difference for these young people who don't have necessarily the resources and support they need. Our $60 gift level is a new guitar or ukulele for one of our string students. Use guitars like these, acoustic guitars, or ukuleles in a variety of colors. And for our band and orchestra programs, it'll provide them a refurbished instrument of any kind. We take instrument donations and we go out and we refurbish those instruments and recycle them with students who don't have an instrument. A lot of students can get their instruments through school at a reduced rental price. However, those school instruments don't come with a maintenance contract. So we also end up having to do a lot of maintenance on those instruments and keep them well tuned for the use and so forth. Flutes get stuck valves and worn out pads. And wind instruments get new reeds that wore out and all of those kind of wonderful things. So we're also very, very much involved in the maintenance and support of our students, regardless of where they got our instrument from, whether they got it from us or through the school. Okay. So I'd like to thank you for your interest this afternoon. You can go to our website, Music for Life, it's forlife.org, where you can learn the details about the problem we address, the programs we have, our financials, links to all our social media channels, volunteer opportunities, and all our contact information. Everything is there. It's all laid out. We're a very transparent organization.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Skip. Really great having you here.
Yep, it's great to be here every year. This program works so well for us that we run it all year long on our website. And we've gotten a larger, each year we get a few more and more people from around the country who find that it's a great way to say thank you, or for an anniversary or a birthday or a special occasion, graduation gift, especially for older people who've already got more than enough stuff in their house.
Wonderful. Well, that is the premise of alternative gifts. So it's so great to have you out, Skip, and to see you again. And we look forward to seeing you next year at the in-person fair.
It would be nice. We look forward to it.
Thank you. So now I will turn it over to Lauren. Lauren is coming from Crossroads Community Food Network. So Lauren, please tell us about your 3 gifts and a little bit about your organization.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Hi, Mimi. I am going to just read a few comments. I do not have any pictures or musical instruments, unfortunately, but I will try to make it interesting nonetheless. So I'm very grateful to be here with everybody this afternoon. Thank you to the organizers for creating this event virtually. And it's great to learn more about the other organizations that I have previously not known about. So again, my name is Lauren. I started with Crossroads Community Food Network in May. So happy to meet everybody, and I'll provide my contact information in the chat and read it here as well, so that we can be in touch if anyone is interested. So Crossroads Community Food Network makes fresh, healthy food more accessible in Tacoma Langley Crossroads. The Crossroads Farmers Market was founded in 2007 with a simple question: if we make local fruits and vegetables accessible and more affordable, will people buy them? When the market first started, it was a radical experiment. Nobody knew if people would come to the market or if they would use their federal nutrition benefits, such as SNAP, to buy vegetables. We were the first market in the state of Maryland to try this, and that was 14 years ago. The market has grown year over year since then, and we now also accept other benefits such as WIC, senior vouchers, and the new pandemic EBT cards, so that people can use as much money as possible to get their fruit and vegetables. So that was the accessible aspect. What do we do to make produce more affordable? We secure funding to match dollar for dollar when people use their benefits at the market. So this is where you all have the opportunity to join in. We were the first market in the country to launch this Fresh Checks incentive program to match federal nutrition benefits when people use them. So shoppers bring home twice as much healthy food, and at the same time, they support local farmers, most of whom are also immigrants. Over the last 14 seasons, we have distributed over $675,000 in incentives to nearly 24,000 individuals, families, and seniors in our community. And we rely on the generosity of donors, as well as local foundations, federal grants, city grants, and county grants to provide the dollar for dollar match. So now I'll just explain a little bit about how we've adapted to run the farmers market in the time of COVID. So we were grateful to be deemed an essential service and started the market this year from April 15th, and it ran through November 25th. With policies in place to maintain the health and safety of our staff, our vendors, volunteers, and shoppers. Face masks and social distancing were mandatory, of course. Foot traffic was one way with a dedicated entrance and exit. There was no live music, Zumba, or kids' art activities. Food sampling was non-existent, and we were not doing the popular food demos. All prepared foods were packaged to go. And we also shifted operations in two other ways. First, we provided an increased benefits match. So typically shoppers using SNAP and WIC and pandemic EBT cards would receive up to $20 in fresh checks each week to spend on more fresh fruits and vegetables. But this year, in order to address the need, between April and June, we offered an unlimited match. And then from July through November, we matched all benefits up to $50 per person per week. So when you go to the page on the Alternative Gift Fair website and you go to the Crossroads Community Food Network page, you will see the two gifts on the right-hand side are to donate fresh checks to families for when they come to use their benefits at the farmers market. So you can choose a 1-week match for $20, or you can choose the 1-month match for $80, whichever works best. And we are grateful for any donations and any matching dollars that we get that way. The other way that we adapted this season was to expand our CSA program to reach older adults who are staying at home to reduce their risk of contracting COVID-19. CSA, which is Community Supported Agriculture, is a program in which members purchase a share of farmers' harvests, and during the market season, they pick up their weekly boxes of fresh fruits and vegetables, depending on what's growing on the farm that week. Due to the pandemic, we were not surprised to see membership in our CSA program increase significantly, and our CSA team jumped into action to address this demand. Since we were concerned about meeting the needs of our many senior market shoppers, we conducted a needs assessment and added 2 low-income senior apartment buildings to our CSA delivery route. So those were one in Tacoma Park and one in Hyattsville. And so we began that initiative with 30 CSA produce boxes delivered to the 2 apartment complexes, which were divided up on site to even more people, because sometimes the boxes had, more produce than one senior might eat in a week. And so as the season went on, and as farmers in our network who were able to gauge their sales and their capacity, as they were able to increase the amount of produce that we provided for seniors. So by the end of the season, we were distributing 100 produce boxes each week, which were divided among about 150 seniors. So all told, this season, we donated 400 to 1,200 servings of fresh fruits and vegetables each week from April through November. So when you go to the gift page, this is the first option that you'll see on your left, which is a box of fresh veggies for a low-income senior. And you can click on that, and that will help to contribute to the produce costs of that program for the upcoming season. We hope to provide that program again in 2021, as we are unsure about the status of whether or not seniors will be able to attend the farmers market, but we really, really hope that we're not running that program again in 2022, and we hope that it's safe for seniors to come out to the farmers market, to visit, to get fresh air, to get their produce, and also get all of the mental health benefits that come with attending the market. So you can find more information at crossroadscommunityfoodnetwork.org. And my email address is lgoldberg@crossroadscommunityfoodnetwork.org. And that's most of all that I have. If anyone has any questions, I'm eager to answer them.
All right. I've been watching the chat and I have not seen any chatted in questions yet, but I will just comment if folks wanted to put in a question that in my community, I'm friends with a woman who has teenage children and has been using the SNAP program, and it's just made such a huge difference to her to be able to basically double her money when she goes to the farmer's market to be able to buy, you know, a wide variety of vegetables and feed her kids in a way that makes her feel really good. And it's for folks that haven't gone there or used it. Sometimes there can be a stigma to using them, and they look just like the tokens that everybody else has, and you know, it allows people to go in and get what they need for their families, to be able to provide them a much better quality of food, and to do so with a lot of dignity. So I'm a big fan of it. Crossroads, I will say, has been an all-star in our I think many years in a row. Folks come out and purchase a bunch of the gifts from Crossroads. So it is a huge thing. The food security right now in the world is a challenge all around. So thank you, Lauren, for coming out. I appreciate having you. I do not see any questions, so I'm going to move on. But thanks so much for being here today.
Yes, thank you so much. It's been a really wonderful event that I have heard so much about from the folks at Crossroads. And so we do look forward to being together in person next year at this time. So
fingers crossed. Yes.
Yep.
All right. So I will welcome Tina from the Friends of Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens. Welcome, Tina.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. First, thank you so much. This is truly a highlight to the weekend to hear about all this good work that's being done. And thank you to the organizers of this event. Kudos, it's really impressive. So like Mimi said, my name is Tina O'Connell. I'm the Executive Director for Friends of Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens. And our mission is to connect people to the Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens through stewardship, volunteerism, education, and other engagement activities like the Lotus and Lily Festival. But to back up, a lot of people often don't know about Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens, so I just wanted to show a quick picture of its signature plant, which is the lotus, and we've also got a red-winged blackbird there. It is a national park dedicated to the cultivation and display of aquatic plants. It's the only national park to do so, and it's right here, or maybe right next door in Washington, D.C. Truly an amazing place, 35 different ponds, marshland, and it sits right along the banks of the Anacostia River. And with that, like if you have not been, this is the opportune time to come and to enjoy. Parks are truly having a bit of a moment with the pandemic, as being outdoors and exploring nature is one of the, the best things we can do right now to stay safe and to stay healthy, both physically and mentally. So those of us in the park community know parks have always been critically important, but I think we are all starting to see how important they truly are. So I think I can explain a little bit more about what we do through our gifts. So our first gift option is a $10 gift option for gloves, gardening bulbs, tools to help with our volunteer program. So we typically bring in about 1,000 volunteers each year to help support the park, and volunteerism through boots on the ground work really is the genesis of our organization. So it's something we take very seriously. And these volunteers do everything from removing invasive plants, picking up trash, resurfacing trails, helping to cultivate some of the aquatic plants in both the ponds and the greenhouses. There is a great need for this. Visitation is up, as I mentioned, and just maintaining a really beautiful and healthy space is truly important. And on the flip side, volunteers are really eager to get out as well and get out of their homes and do something good for others. And so we're excited about that. With COVID, we have to throw away our gloves after each visit. So there is truly a need for some more supplies right now. The second gift we have is a $25 gift towards camp supplies. So for the past several years, we have been hosting summer camp and spring break camps for the community right outside of the park in Kenilworth, Parkside, Eastland Gardens, Mayfair. And we've kind of expanded it to really target most of Ward 7. They are our neighbors, and we are really excited to build connections with them. Like everything, we had to kind of pivot this spring, and we did a hybrid camp where we provided an Explore activity kit, a meal, and a grocery bag for each family. And it has been so much fun, honestly, to get to know the families in addition to the kids. It's just so much fun. So some of the things we do, it's everything from your simple kind of typical craft to providing more sophisticated kits. They learn about the watershed through this, often through probably both weeks. Honestly, we always talk about the importance of the watershed, and they built a water filtration kit. So they had, sand, gravel, mud, and then they'd have to pour the water down into this column and sit and wait and see how long it would take to drip and how clear it was at the bottom. That was a favorite of a lot of the campers this summer. And there's tie-dye t-shirts. And then also, some really like real camp supplies that can help either, bring a new hobby or foster an activity or hobby they already do. So one of the things that all the kids got this summer was, a very nice kids binoculars, and then the introductory birding supplies. So Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens is an amazing site for birding if you are interested in birding and photography. So they get tools to actually help them at camp and then to take home with them so that they can continue on with their families. I just wanted to read a quick quote from one of our camp parents. She participated both this summer and then also this fall, and she has 2 kids, Sasha and Malia, and she wrote a thank you note that said, "This was the best camp my children have attended. They've loved everything from the variety of activity to the different themed weeks. We were all blown away with the supplies for the camp as well as the meals. We felt so supported and cared for. Thank you for providing such a high-level program during these trying times. Our whole family truly appreciated it." So you can see it really, especially right now, has provided a guiding light. And the last gift is a $50 gift, which also is towards our camp and education programming. Not only do we want our families and our children to learn more about this national park that's in their neighborhood, but there are so many amazing parks and green spaces nearby and different ways to enjoy them. So we always try to do some different field trips. These pictures are not from this year, but the activities we're thinking about are COVID safe activities should we need to. I hope that you guys can see this. So one of the activities we do is we take the kids fishing. So you can't really see the catfish very well, but you might be able to see some of the smiling faces of both the adults and the children. We are a very small shop here at Friends of Kenilworth Aquatic Gardens. So it's myself and a couple of AmeriCorps interns with some, part-time staff that help run this camp program. And we rely heavily on community leaders and other volunteers to really support these camp efforts. So you will see some folks doing that. Another example of a field trip is biking. So again, not everybody has a bike and not everybody knows how to bike or even knows that there's the Anacostia River Trail connected right to this amazing park. So it's really a gateway into, a longer trail, and you get to go to Bladensburg Waterfront Park and Anacostia Park. So some of the kids know about it, some of the families know about it, some don't, but the bike ride is always a highlight also of previous camps. So we are looking forward to doing that more this spring and summer in whatever COVID safe ways we can. And if we're able to do that with the whole family, we've really enjoyed kind of being part of everybody else's family for a little bit too. To close, if anybody is interested in donating or volunteering, they can always reach out to me. It's just tina@fokag.org. We have a website, social media, beautiful pictures, and I think really impactful stories are told there. So I encourage you to follow and stay up to date with news and volunteer events to come. And I always say my job is to help people fall in love with the park. So I invite you all to come out. I think you'll feel hooked. Obviously, summer is when everything blooms in the ponds, but there's a really special quiet nature in spring or in winter and fall that actually, you know, people sometimes enjoy even more because it's just it's really special to watch that transformation from 6-foot pink flowers to beautiful fall foliage and then ice covered ponds. I'd love if anybody has any questions to answer.
Thanks so much, Tina. I will monitor the chat as we're talking to see if there are any questions coming in. I will say, as you were doing your presentation, I was thinking, and this often comes up for me as I hear about each different organization. One of the things that we at AGGW like to encourage that is that people think about how can I do a gift of donation that is going to fit, right? If you were out buying a shawl, you'd be like, oh, pink, Mimi likes pink, I'll get, you know, but how can we really match these gifts of donations with people? So like my brother-in-law loves birding, and I was thinking like, that's so great for him. And the friend that gets the SNAP donations, I was thinking that would be such, you know, the month of work would be so I think if everyone can, as they're watching this now or as they review it, because we're gonna post the recordings of each of these hours to our website, just think about, you know, how might this apply? How might this be the just right sort of gift for that loved one on my shopping list? Because I think especially at this time of year, it's so great to get back to the basics, right? What is the meaning of the holiday season? What does it mean to you? What traditions do you want to create for your family? So I do see that a question has come in, so we'll do that and then we'll switch to the next group. So a question that came in is, how do you recruit your volunteers?
Great question. We typically post on kind of some of your standard volunteer websites and try to do so. I know like Alexandria has their own volunteer website, Fairfax does, and then here in DC we've got Volunteer Serve too. So try to post on all of those. Anybody can obviously reach out through our website. And we have a lot of volunteers who like they come once a year and they find out about us either through word of mouth, but it's really posting a lot on all the different volunteer websites. We do our best to reach out to kind of master naturalists and master gardeners in local high schools and scout groups as well, because it's a great place, especially for high schoolers, to get their student service learning hours. So we always encourage high schoolers who are looking for that. We've had really a lot of fun and success with a lot of scouting groups too. So it's a little bit of putting the word out there and then also kind of making some targeted asks as well.
Perfect. Yeah, you just reminded me of a person who I know that loves gardening and needs SSL hours. So.
Perfect.
So thank you, Tina, for being with us. And yeah, I look forward. I'm going to come out to the gardens. I've never been.
Thank you. We'd love to see you.
So we will end the hour with a presentation from Archer, co-partners Campesinas.
Thank you. My name is Archer, and I'm representing co-partners of Campesinas. Not sure how to get this good. So in case your Spanish is a little rusty, campo means country or countryside in Spanish. And so a campesina is a woman who lives in the country. And we work with groups of rural women in El Salvador and Guatemala. We are an all volunteer organization. And so we send small donations to these groups of women, and they implement programs that represent our motto. Our motto is learn, earn, and lead. So the learning part means that we give scholarships. The earn part is that we fund vocational training so that people, women and youth, will be able to earn a living. And then the idea is that once somebody has gotten educated and gotten a skill, hopefully they will step up to leadership in the community. We have 3 gifts. The first gift is $10 of school supplies. And there you can see a group of Guatemalan children who have just received their bags of school supplies. And this is an incredibly high impact gift because having the school supplies will determine whether parents let their child go to school or not. They won't send the kid to school if the kid doesn't have pencils and a notebook and the other things that are required. So if you buy this gift, you may be ensuring that a child who otherwise wouldn't have gone to school will go to school. Our second gift is transportation scholarship. It's $25 transportation scholarships for kids who live in communities where the school only goes up to 8th grade. And so in rural communities, this is often the case that the number of years of school that you can get are really limited. So in these rural communities, transportation will rarely be less than 75 cents or $1 one way. So that means to get out of that little community and go to school is going to cost a couple of dollars a day. So that's what our middle gift of $25 funds a transportation scholarship for a kid who is from a rural community where the school stops before he wants to stop studying. And the third gift, which is $50, supports our vocational training classes. This is a computer class. The teachers, these are Saturday classes, Saturday morning classes, which enable people who are working during the week to continue their education. And the teachers make $12.50 for teaching for 4 hours. So the $50 gift ensures the teacher's salary for one of the classes for a month. And the classes are tailoring, dressmaking and tailoring, electricity, cosmetology, cooking, restaurant work, pastry, computers, basic computer skills, and English. This is a picture, one of my favorite pictures of what happens after someone goes to classes. So this is a picture of a cooperative of women that was organized by women who had taken the sewing classes, the dressmaking classes. And the Ministry of Education came out with a program to buy uniforms for school children. And so they organized themselves to produce these uniforms for the schools in their community. And this woman who is on the end in the picture, her name is Araceli. And she was one of the people who helped organize this co-op. Then she established herself as a dressmaker in the town, San Francisco Echeverria, where she lives. Then she became the president of the organization of women for that area. And then she started teaching the class that she had taken as a student. previously. So she's an example of what we hope to accomplish through the learn, earn, and lead model. That she went the whole way of assuming leadership and of becoming a teacher herself. That's the quickies.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ashley. Appreciate it. So it sounds like there's a lot of great work happening. It sounds like a really good model. I like the learn and lead, um, that idea. So thank you for coming out and telling us about your group and telling us about the gifts that people can find this year. So we have just a few minutes left, and I wanted to just remind folks that have not seen all the way through that we do have certificates. These are gift descriptions, and the gift descriptions look something like this. And the intention of the gift description is that you can send it as a PDF. You could print it and put it into a card, and you can present it to friends and loved ones throughout the year or at the holiday season so that they can understand that something has been given in their honor to a local charity. It also describes the charity and the work that they're doing. It has been a wonderful 4 hours for folks that are wondering what they can do. If you have any interest in volunteering at these organizations, please go onto our website. There you can find out the gifts that they're selling this year. You can find out their organization information, which will link to their org page. So you can find out ways to volunteer, find out ways to support. I know over the past few hours, we heard about ways to donate bike parts to Bikes for the World. We heard about ways to give cards that will go to homebound Tacoma Park residents with their meals from Meals on Wheels. We've heard about places like the Aquatic Garden where you can go and volunteer. Please do connect. If there are any organizations that you feel particularly drawn to, please go onto their websites. You can find all of them at aggw.org and connect with them. See if there are ways that you can do things to find out more about them or to become a part of their volunteer organization. One of the things over the past few hours that I've been really struck with is just how many groups say, there's 2 of us, there's 3 of us, there's 4 of us running this. You know, I think it's really incredible that so few people can make such a huge difference. And just so you know, as a model, Alternative Gifts of Greater Washington specifically choose to have small direct service charities. We're looking for the groups that really are on a shoestring budget. We want to make the greatest effect in our community that we can. So we don't work with large organizations as a rule. We do work with people that both provide direct service locally and provide direct service internationally. So please take time to go onto our website. If you like what you see, please purchase gifts or let folks know about the opportunity. Since we are virtual this year, we have the opportunity to have a much more widespread effect. So if you have people out of state, if you have people internationally, the shopping hours are 24/7. You can buy alternative gifts all the time. We will conclude December 31st at midnight, so please do get all of your shopping done before the new year. This is our new logo. Please consider just sharing information. Sometimes when I speak to someone about alternative gifts, almost always what I hear is, I wish I knew about this. This is such a wonderful idea. It makes so much sense. You know, so it really is something that people are hungry for right now, and it is going to make a huge difference. Our prior years that we've been working, this is our 22nd year. I believe it would be the 13th for the National Education Association. We are here to make money for charities. 100% of the money that you donate is going directly to the charities. And if you choose to make a contribution to Alternative Gifts of Greater Washington, it goes directly to cover the costs of credit card fees, to create flyers, to get ready to host, ideally, the next in-person Alternative Gift Fair. We are a fiscal sponsor, so we hope to create not only a Tacoma Park and DC event, but we hope to seed the way for many alternative gift fairs in this area. And if you are so inspired by seeing this that you would like to run an alternative gift fair in your own area, please be in touch with us at aggw.org so that we can find out. Jim Groves, who hosted ours 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, has been running his own alternative gift fair at the National Education Association for over a decade. And you too could run your own alternative gift fair. As AGGW, as your fiscal sponsor, we will help you find groups, vet groups. We will help you put on your fair. We will give you all of the paperwork that you need. We will help you get all the tallies, and we will cut the checks. So it is my own personal hope that we will be able to get many more alternative gift fairs in the area, that we will be able to serve and host more and more charities, and be able to bring more alternative gifts to you and your loved ones. So thank you so much.